You are not obliged to help people with their shit. You don't have to play the hero. If that sounds harsh, bear with me in this episode. Welcome to the Conscious Manual, where I help you to love yourself so you can love your life and create the reality that you actually want. A lot of time, people create drama in their life and want to be validated in that role because they're craving attention. Most of the time, they don't do this consciously, but they want to be seen. Being a victim feels familiar to them. Every time they're validated as a victim, they have a dopamine rush. And I'm so sure of this that you will know the difference between someone that really needs help and someone that just wants to be seen in his drama. And I want to bet that you have a person in mind that responds to the second role of the drama. Let me give you an example of my own life. What happened in the beginning of this year, a romantic connection that was quite confusing for me, or very confusing actually, and hard to figure out. So I told the whole story to a lot of people, every single time, more than 10, maybe 20 people. Every time the same story. And every time I just wanted to be seen in my drama. I didn't do that consciously, but I can see it looking back. I wanted to be seen I'm having a hard time. Oh, Emmanuel, oh, you poor thing. And something awoke when someone asked me how I was doing, and I started talking about, oh, this is what's happening with me and that woman. I did my story, and then he asked, okay, but how are you? So I started understanding that, whoa, I'm identifying myself with her instead of myself. And then in May, I made a conscious choice to cut down all those stories. And I told everybody that I don't want to talk about her anymore. And there were a lot of loose ends. And I was like, how many people did I talk about this? If I tell my story about more than, let's say, 3 people max, then I don't want information, then I don't want advice. I just want to be validated in my drama role, in my victimhood. So if I have 10, 20 people, that says it all. It didn't serve me at all. It just kept me perpetuating the cycle of I'm the victim, please look at me, please give me attention, so I can just keep mellowing in my own drama. That's what it was. Sometimes the best way to help someone is to not help them. That is something that I learned the hard way. And you will definitely know the difference when someone really needs help. You will feel it in your bones, trust me. When someone is just sharing the drama story with you. This is what I very clearly saw with myself years ago when I had an incurable, between brackets, gut disease that I've cured myself. I'm going to share with that in another episode. But what I did all the time, when I was in my depths, when I couldn't get out of bed, when I was just struggling to walk around in the house, needed help from my girlfriend to push me up the stairs. Unconsciously, I made sure when people saw me that I would behave sick. When someone asked me how I was doing, I would complain how fucked I felt, how shitty I felt. And I was like an unconscious nod, a button that I switched on. Of like, oh, someone's seeing me, I need to behave sick. So they would definitely believe me. Oh, Emmanuel, you poor thing. Oh, you're still feeling so bad. Oh no. I just wanted to be validated. And what happened there is that kept me sick for longer. People saw me sick, so I saw myself sick, so I got validation, so I pretended to be more sick. All of this was unconscious. I didn't do this on purpose, but I could see it afterwards. So, by them helping me, they were not helping me. If they wouldn't have validated how bad I felt, I would have progressed faster. Not to say they're to blame, but sometimes it's best to not help people. Someone is complaining, you validating their complaining is perpetuating their complaint. Solution in the first place is that that person doesn't complain about it and does something about it. It's okay to vent at times, but it's never just complaining for the sake of complaining. Complaining about complaining is also complaining. Now, what helped me in this, I've read the book recently, Psycho-Cybernetics. There's a concept in there to let the telephone ring. What it says is that we've been trained to, with an automatic habit, whenever the phone rings, jump on it and grab it, immediately answer it. But what you can do, you can imagine yourself sitting relaxed, hearing the telephone ring and just letting it ring. The phone doesn't have any control over you anymore. You just relax. Let it be there and just do what you want to do. Read a book, watch something, meditate, relax, just don't do anything. You can do this mentally or practice this whenever your phone actually rings. This is also a metaphor. When someone needs your attention, and normally you would jump on it like, oh, someone needs my help, I need to rescue them. You can just let the telephone ring. You can just let their expectations ring. Because you've never agreed on their expectations. So when they're giving you shit, and they're projecting their insecurities, their fear, their frustrations on you, you can just let it there. Let them have their shit. You don't need to own it at all. It's theirs to handle it. What's happening in this modern age is that we need to be available all the time. It's not okay to switch off your phone. Hey, you didn't call me back. Hey, you didn't respond my text. You didn't respond my call. You didn't pick up the phone. You can just let the telephone ring. A few months ago, when I went through burnout, I went completely offline. Normally, I was always available. All my notifications were on. I would check my phone or my WhatsApp 10, 20 times a day. And then from one day to the other, I just switched it all off. And I realized, first of all, how addicted I was and how freeing it was. And now, months later, after many complaints of my family, oh, you never pick up the phone anymore. Oh, you're never available. They accepted that now. And they know now that I don't often pick up the phone. My phone is somewhere over there in flight mode, not available. And when someone calls me, I choose, do I want to pick up now or not? The phone doesn't have power over me anymore. Almost all my notifications are off. No more emails on my phone. Check WhatsApp once a day. Feels so freeing. What still baffles me till today, and I'm on the process of accepting this. When I call my parents or my sister, and then they pick up, I can't call right now. I'm there, and I'm like, then why do you pick up the phone? They never have an answer. If you're not available to pick up, then don't pick up. My mom was in church the other day. She's like, oh, I can't call right now. I'm in church. Doesn't make sense to me. Then just don't pick up the phone. Or if I'm having a conversation with you, this is with my mother. If I'm having a conversation with her, and my sister calls, she picks up the phone. And I'm like, what the hell? We're in this conversation. Why would you pick up? You have the power to let the telephone ring. Do not listen to other people's complaints. Do not jump up as a hero if you don't feel like it. You don't have to obey to anybody's commands. You don't have to fulfill anybody's expectations. If it doesn't feel right. If you didn't agree to it, you can just let the telephone ring. You can have this mental picture of telephone ringing and you just being in your own frame. You can practice this when your telephone rings and you can just let it ring. Just come back to yourself, focus on your breath, relax. You don't have to jump up for anything that moves. Just be yourself, just be in your own frame. That's what you want to do. Let the telephone ring. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you at the next one. And as always, remember, you are epic. Ciao, ciao.